Okay, so in the previous video, we talked about the situation when you have co-branding, what kind of situation we're having. Right now, we're going to talk about the structure of a contract. For me, it's important when I explain something that you understand what we are talking about. When you have a contract, most time it looks like this. This is the contract. And when you look at the contract, most time you have an intro. You will see it later on. You have also a body and you have an outro. So we have an intro, body, and an outro, call it whatever you want. What we most of the time put here in is the name and other stuff of the parties. And that's obvious. It has to be correct. Yeah, that has to be correct. And another thing, what I found really important is you also put why you create this agreement. And in this case, you create this agreement to work together to create more revenue for both parties, or promote the product or services from a party. This is important because when something goes wrong and you do not know what to do, you can always look at why did we create a contract. That's why this is really important. Most time I do care about the names of the parties, but I just make sure that it's right and that's it. But I focus more on this because this is important, especially in the future when something goes wrong and you didn't put it in the body. You need to look why you created and what you're doing. Does it affect why you create the contract? So that's why I found this really important. I focus a lot of times on that, and most people don't understand why, but it's just to make sure that when something goes wrong, you can cover it. It depends who you are in the who you are when you sign a contract. Then you have the body. The body can have a lot of articles. It can have 1 until 20 articles. It can even have more. It depends what kind of contract it is. But most time you have the articles and you have paragraph or other stuff, and then you see the articles and then another paragraph or whatever. Keep in mind, this is the body, the article. And this is the outro. Most time people sign a contract, and most of the time you see the name of the people's on it. And something that most people put it in the outro, or sometimes they put it here at the end of the body, the government law. We will also talk about that. Okay? And what it means is which law apply to this contract. And what you need to keep in mind is that sometimes you have attachment. They are also part of the contract because the contract is referring to the attachment. And that's something you need to keep in mind. So for example, sometimes in the body, they say see attachment 1. Well, they discuss how much the compensation is, right? Or the location, and they will put in attachment number 2. This is just to make sure that there is a clear understanding what a certain kind of word is or what the situation is. So this is technically the basic of a contract. Keep this in mind. When you keep this in mind, you will try to understand a lot of contract. But when we look at this contract, it's important to have this in mind. You have an intro, you have a body, and you have an outro. Simple. Yeah. So in the next video, we'll talk about the intro and a little bit about the body. And I will show you some articles that you need to keep in mind. But for now, and you know what? Let me show you the body really fast so you can get a general idea what I'm talking about. Yeah, not the body, the intro. So you see, this is the title. This is the agreement between. So here you put the name of the people. 1, person A, person B, and then the why. This is important. You can make this really long, but you can also make it really short. But here you see the why. The why is important. Why do you create an agreement? And then you start first with the body. The body will start here. And you see, this is really important to put it in your contract. And when you do it well, it's going to be fine. If you don't do it well, you may have a problem. So in the next video, we'll talk about the body. I will show you some things. If you have questions about it, go in Discord, ask me. And if you like this video, like it. Seriously, like it. Like it. Press the like button right now. I'll see you in the next one.